All right, so this is a review of In the Heights. Everybody seems to really enjoy this movie. We figured that we would just tell you what we thought of it, just to kind of throw another opinion out there. You can take it and agree with it, or you can think that we're wrong. That's totally fine. But we're gonna add our voice to the mix. So last night we were going on a date night, and she was really excited to see this film because she grew up in Washington Heights. And she remembers, what's some of the things you remember at Washington Heights?
I remember summers being hot as hell, and the fire. Is it fire extinguishers?
Yeah.
No, not fire extinguishers.
Things that extinguish fire?
No, the water pumps outside.
Oh, fire hydrants.
Yeah, fire hydrants. I
Water
remember
pumps.
block parties. I remember just a sense of community.
Yeah.
And just fun.
Yeah. And the movie got that right, kind of. But, so anyways, we were really excited to see it because I didn't know anything about how she was growing up. And we started dating like 5 months ago, so, there's still like things we don't know about each other. It's all like, woo. Anyways, we go to the movie theater, we get our popcorn, we layer it with butter. I get a icy even though I'm low carb. And she gets a Sprite and some whatevers. And we sit down in the theater. There's no one in the theater, like nobody, except for two couples in the far back.
Yeah.
And she has a weed pen. So
Right.
we hit it a little bit, and that might have influenced our perception of the film, but we still want to give you our opinion. So the film starts, and it's very singy, and we knew it would be very, very singy because it was a musical. I think it's kind of our fault because neither of us had been to a musical in a while, and we didn't realize like how much a musical is so heavy-handed on the emotions. It's like, oh, I'm sad. It's just like, like everything's really, really like extra all the
They
time.
were having like conversations and singing.
Yeah.
That was just too much for me.
Yeah, that does happen in almost every musical, but so this might be our fault. But anyways, some of the things that we did like about it, I guess, were the fact that there was some elements of her neighborhood that were represented
Right.
accurately.
They were actually in Washington Heights, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, and the kids that he tells the story to, apparently,
They're cute.
they were engaged and cute. They were much more well behaved and coherent than any other 4-year-olds I've seen. But whatever. But what we didn't like is, first of all, there was no real in a movie you want things to be at stake, like you want there to be like a genuine sense that there's a challenge, and the challenges that we saw is like some chick like kind of felt weird about being at Stanford, and like I guess somebody thought she was a waitress, and she associated that with her Puerto Ricanness, and she didn't know who to side with, so she decided that she'd drop out of an Ivy League school because of that occurrence. And something about her dad, and he got mad at her, but it was weird. And so that was interesting. Go ahead.
Okay, so now I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I think the point of the movie
Yeah.
was how much they loved being in Washington Heights, but how bad they actually wanted to get out,
Oh, interesting. That's a layer of depth
I guess.
to it. Yeah.
Maybe.
I guess upon reflection, it's better than we thought, but we still left halfway through.
Yeah,
But yeah, so her problems didn't seem like huge problems, and the way that it was acted out was a little bit heavy-handed, and it felt like I was supposed to like it. It's like the movie was like, hey, you're supposed to like this. Like, this is where she gets sad, so you should see that she's sad and feel sad. And then, like, the store owner, he was like, he was like a really nice guy with a big heart, big dreams, man. You know?
It just didn't feel really authentic, and I guess, like,
Yeah.
I'm Dominican, and it's supposed to represent Dominican culture and Puerto Rican culture, and I don't know, I almost feel like there's authenticity in the way that we dance and speak, and that wasn't, like, really captured. Maybe because it was a musical?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So there was a sense of like the way that they'd like to portray that block for the mainstream, and to be kind of like make it look better than it was, and not actually portraying it as it was, to have more of an authentic picture. Is that fair? Yeah.
I can say that.
And then there was the chick who just wanted to get in an apartment, who had a terrible credit score, and like how difficult that was for her. I just didn't find that real compelling. So we left at around the 45-minute mark, and if you're going to see it, just know that, you know, you're going to see a musical, and that sounds pretty self-evident since it's a musical.
Yeah.
But like, it's really a musical, and it's like really heavy-handed. It's really like I don't know. It takes a situation where shit was actually going on, but it paints it with this really like everything's okay and everything's kind of fun brush. And I don't think they needed to do that. I don't think they needed to water down reality, even though musicals are about, like, you know, big expression and a range of emotion and capturing that.
Yeah.
But they really watered down the reality of it.
Because there's... Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, there's people with real-ass stories, and it just felt like, yeah, it was watered down.
They, like, turned it into a caricature, you know, to make it more appealing to white people, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. And honestly, not gonna lie, the characters probably could have been darker.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dominicans and Puerto Rican, there's different ranges of colors, but it could have had a little bit more color.
What do you think actual people from that neighborhood think of this film, aside from all of the amazing reviews?
Okay, so really, they're gonna be like, I think the way that we're kind of reacting, like, this is fucking stupid. Like, are y'all serious?
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much authenticity and beauty that happens on that block, in that area, that it's like, this is how you choose to capture this?
Yeah.
Are y'all serious?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the last way that anybody would want to capture it. Like, through a fucking musical?
Yeah. And
like, no, like, they should have real bachata, real salsa, like, real shit.
Yeah.
And maybe we didn't get to that.
Yeah, we didn't finish the
we
film.
Didn't finish it. Maybe
we exited the theater in the middle of it.
It was too cringy, like, too, like,
cringy.
Hollywoodish.
Yeah,
like,
it was almost like while we were watching it, we were kind of like, ugh. And I even felt that. And I was genuinely curious. I was very tired.
I felt bad. I brought him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, like, if your expectations are to get a realistic portrayal of Washington Heights, or, like, you know, you're going to be disappointed, I think. But if your expectations are to see, like, a fun musical where the, like, emotional depth is just kind of like, it goes just far enough to where it doesn't really make anyone uncomfortable when they're sad, and it doesn't make you that happy when they're happy. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, thanks for giving me the easy emotion so I don't have to, like, you know, feel any subtlety as a viewer. Then cool. You know. But I've seen musicals. I saw Rent. Okay, I'm with it. I saw Les Mis. I like both those movies. That shit was awesome.
I like Mamma Mia.
Yeah, Mamma Mia is awesome. This wasn't as awesome for us. So that's our review. Take it or leave it. Let us know in the comments what you thought. Just because, why not? You know, tell us how wrong we are. We'd love to hear about that. Yeah. All right. Have a good weekend. Salud.